Well, hey there, welcome to video 3. Let's talk about this page. You'll see that level 6 is worth 30 points. Once you're done with this, you're done with the grade. The whole bottom area is called the early finisher activity. You only need to do the early finisher activity area if you notice that the other students in the room are still working on a coloring project. If you get to this point and you notice that the other students in the room have now moved on to their drawing project, then you can just put a big X through this area and upload this page along with this one and this one to Padlet. Hidden somewhere in the top part of this video is your very last good listener star. So make sure your headphones are in and you are ready to listen. Get out your blue colored pencil from last class period. We're going to be adding a diagonal fade into the B, vertical fade into the M, and a horizontal fade into the S. What is BMS? Well, we have to represent it's Brame Middle School. A diagonal is going to go in the letter B, but we need to prep the surface for this more complex fade. Let's lay in a level 1 powder layer everywhere but the top left corner of this B. So think of level 1, it's very nice and light. We're holding the color pencil from the back. Look at how far, you can't even see my hand on camera. That's how far back I'm holding the colored pencil. This is just a gentle level 1 powder layer, filling in the B, prepping the surface for a more complex professional looking fade. Making sure to circle clockwise and also counterclockwise so that I don't have patchy, uneven spaces. But if you notice, I do not put this in the top left area. I'm leaving this alone. That's my 0 area. Now that I have in my powder layer, we're doing a 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, very similar to the circle that we did in our last video. Level 6 pressure in the bottom right side. Blurring into a 5. Bringing the 5 down here as well. If you need to pause the video a bit to catch up, then do so. Now I'm going to move into a 4. See a little bit of a contrast line I'm blurring out. Some of my 4 is going to make it into this bottom right part of this upper part of this B and evening this out. 3, 2, and I hardly have to put a 1 because I did that for the powder layer, and gently fading it out into the 0, putting nothing into the 0 area. Revisiting some areas, evening them out, making sure that it looks like a legitimate diagonal. There you go. M is our vertical. We're going to do heavy at the top, medium to light at the bottom. Let's lay in our powder layer first. Powder layer goes all in the upper part and middle part, but not at the very bottom. Level 1, gentle pressure. Not going down to the very bottom, that's where my 0 is going to be. Only the top and middle have the level 1 powder layer. It's time for our 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 fade. 6 at the very top. At this time, because you're being such a good listener, you can pause the video, quietly raise your hand for your very last good listener star. Now, a common mistake is students think that we're done here. They don't exaggerate their fade out long enough. Sometimes things do call for a slender fade. We need to exaggerate this fade a lot longer than what it is. Stick with small circles. Need to carry this down more. So my 6 I'm seeing needs to be blurred down a bit more. Gently fading into nothingness. There you go. The S is our horizontal fade. We're starting at the left side and the 0 is going to be on the right side. So let's lay in a powder layer, all on the left side and middle, but not on the right side, not the far right. That's going to be our 0. With this powder layer, we have prepped the surface for our more professional and complex fade. We need a 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 from left going into right, level 6 pressure all on the left side, far left side, level 6. I can come down here and lay in some more, level 6. Now it's simply a matter of blurring the 6 into a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This time, if everyone else in the room is done with their coloring portion of their project, they needed to upload all 3 of these pages to Padlet. But if you notice that everyone else in the room is still working on a coloring project, then it is expected of you to do these early finisher challenges during focus times. We're now done with your grade. If you have a little extra time and you want to experiment with adding some sweeps as a cast shadow, you can. If not, if everyone's done coloring in class, then it's time to upload. If you have time, the cast shadow, use a dark color pencil for this, is darkest right underneath the letter, and then it blurs, fades down into light. Let's do the S next because the M is a bit more complicated. S, left to right sweeps, darkest directly underneath the S, and then left to right sweeps lighter and lighter as we go away. With the M, I'm only going to stick to the parts that are touching the ground, and they'll fade into kind of making a bit of an upside down letter M. Darkest underneath, lighter further away. Darkest underneath, lighter further away. Get out your green colored pencil for this. As an early finisher challenge, let's try out a radial. Radials can make some really cool special effects, but let's figure out how to do it first. There's two ways to do a radial. The first way is you start on the edges and get lighter and lighter towards the middle. That's pretty easy. We'll start with that one first. Level 6 your edges. And now equally level 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You don't have to go to 0 towards the middle. So I'm rounding this out into a 5. Rounding this side out into a 5. Rounding bottom out into a 5. Going more inward with a 4. Trying not to block the camera, but it is hard. 4. That might be a good angle. Let's see. 4, 3. It might have been easier if we did a powder layer. Whoops, I forgot to tell y'all to do the powder layer. It'll be okay for this one. This is one type of radial, darker on the outside, lighter on the inside. Let's do the opposite in this one. This time we are going to remember to put a powder layer down. Level 1, lay in a powder layer in this whole triangle. It'll make the process easier if you struggled with the other triangle. This radial is a little bit more difficult to conceptualize. So if you want to draw another triangle over here, and practice it more, you can. It's now heavier on the inside and lighter on the outsides. Okay. That means level 6 pressure, swiveling around the inside, and it just continues to swivel lighter and lighter the further away from the center that you get. Sometimes you gotta go back in and darken the middle better. You want to build up a medium area. A common mistake that I see with students is they just go from heavy to light. Build you up a medium area. And then I have this big contrast line here. You see a circle on the inside. You want to make it where you don't see a circle anymore. Blur and buff out these edges with a lighter pressure to get rid of that contrast. Done. Let's apply these concepts to these shapes down here so you can see the full effect of these special effects that we've just learned. You can color the inside of this diamond any color that you would like. Just do it in a level 6 heavy pressure. I'm just going to quickly lay in some blue. We're going to create a radial where it's darker on the outside, lighter in the center. Level 6 heavy pressure on the whole outer part of this circle. Now we're going to blur 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 towards the center. Probably would have helped if we did a powder layer. I'm really slacking on the early finisher activity instructions. I apologize. But I think you'll have the hang of it by now. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 towards the center. It's okay to get some on the diamond. Do you have a contrast line here? If so, blur that out. I'm going to do this side. This technique helps something look rounded, like maybe it's a dragon eye or a gator eye. Lastly, the inverted radial, where it's darker on the inside and lighter on the out, that creates a glowing effect. And here's what I mean by that. Instead of doing a level 6, let's just do like a level 4 or 5, outline the top part and middle part of this light bulb. We're not going to fade inside, we're actually going to fade out and away. So this outline needs to be on kind of the outer side. About a level 5 pressure. Now we're fading out and away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Out and away. No contrast lines on my edges.